Good YouTube, Win Wade, coming to y'all with that hot topic analysis. Another person got traded with some others included, and let's go ahead and talk about it. The Los Angeles Lakers agree to acquire Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets for Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, a 2031 unprotected first round pick, and a 2030 pick swap. The Lakers acquired their center of the present and future shortly after Rob Pelinka expressed doubt that one would be available at the deadline. Never know what can happen. Never want to know what's going to be the opportunity that you can seize to control. And I think Mark Williams, he had a lot of injuries this year before he actually was able to get back on the court. He's a double-double, a big body, mobile, athletic, very strong, and a decent free throw shooter for the center position. Obviously, they just got rid of Nick Richards too, which was one of their other bigs. Charlotte obviously got a big anyway in Bona and Musa, I believe. And that's the only thing that really matters is they still have a center that can play well with LaMelo Ball. We don't really know what's going to happen with him because I heard some stuff about LaMelo too the last couple of days that he might be on the move, and some of the fans and some of the people that cover him don't really mind that at all, which is crazy because he's really been one of the best players they have, and this season is going downhill because of the injuries to LaMelo, and Brandon Miller is out for the rest of the season, and they haven't even played a good season in some years now, and this team is getting really old. But Mark Williams is only 23, one of the best bigs in my personal opinion in the league. I kind of wonder what they're going to do because when I look at their roster, they don't have another 7-footer. They have other guys that's strong enough and lanky enough to play the position. Like, yeah, Musa was, I was right about that. He's 23, but he's only 210 pounds and 6'9". He's going to be undersized. Maybe you try to play the draft to get another big like you got Mark Williams and Nick Richards and doing. Maybe they like somebody that we don't know because of scouting is always important as it's almost around that lottery time since we already over halfway through the season. But I mean, the Lakers really got another steal because I love Mark Williams. I love me some Mark Williams, especially if he can continue to stay healthy. This guy is the real deal. But he's eligible for a contract extension, and his numbers are worthy of it because he's averaging 16 points, 9.8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and a block a game. And he's only playing 25 minutes over only 22 games because, like I said, he was injured in the beginning of the season. So that's a double-double. And that's something that you can't play around with if you can get him. But you are going to have to pay him just like you're going to have to pay Luka. And you haven't really seen these two guys play on the same court together. But we know that Luka likes a big that can roll to the rim and stay in the dunker spot so he can throw lobs to him and dump offs to him if he gets caught up in a double team or gets walled off from the paint. So Mark Williams is obviously a guy that can catch those things and finish those things because that's all he really did in Charlotte, and he embraced that role and didn't complain about that role and played well in that role. But Williams also ranks fifth in NBA PR at 26 points, and with his efficiency and his rebound rate and assist rate is really good for his position too. Williams played in just 19 games in 2024 due to back issues. So I just want to let them know that he has some problems with his body. Like, I didn't give you any specifics into now, but Knecht, he was a 17 pick. The fans in LA loved him. They enjoyed what he brought to the table. They liked his confidence. They liked his stroke. He was really embraced by the Lakers fans. And it's crazy that they moved off of him without even having him for a year. Now, you do need a big man because you traded the best one that you had in Anthony Davis. And now you get a legit 7-footer. And now you got some other guys that can fill out the rest of this roster. I think the Lakers going to continue to probe this trade deadline as much as they can to make sure they don't give away this season, which is smart because you already got Luka coming back next week, and LeBron has been playing really good basketball too. But Knecht, I'm surprised that he's gone this quick. In 48 games, Knecht is averaging 9 points and 3 rebounds in only 20 minutes. He's in the Rookie of the Year conversation at one point. He still has some of the best numbers for a rookie. He's one of the best offensive rookies in his draft class. And this can increase his chances of being Rookie of the Year because Stephon Castle and those guys only averaging 11 points per game, and he's not that far off of it. Plus, he's going to get more chances and more opportunities playing for a team like Charlotte, but it's going to be in losing conditions. But they needed more spacing and they needed more shooting, just like every other team in the league, and they get that with Knecht and a little bit of that with Cam Reddish. Plus, you can't really get mad at them because Charlotte is in a situation where guys are not happy because they continue to lose, and there's no point of beating up and tearing up your body when you're not winning games. And some of these guys been sacrificing their bodies because it's part of the game. But that 2031 first round pick is unprotected, like I said before, and at pick swap in 2030, that's a little too far from now. I don't really know no prospects that I'm crazy over in those two drafts at this point. Never really know what happens, and that's way too far from now, like I said. But the Lakers have relinquished control of their upcoming drafts in 29, 2030, and 2031, with the first pick going to Dallas unprotected as a part of the Luka Doncic trade. So that all makes sense, and I think this is a deal that I would say the Lakers won. I think Mark Williams just being a two-way player and a double-double and a guy that's not going to step on anybody's toes, and he's going to accept his role, and he's going to be happy to be a part of a winning culture. He's going to be happy to be able to play for games that means more, unlike what he was doing in Charlotte. And he's a professional, and he's not a guy that whines and complains for what I seen and what I know. So the Lakers always get a good big man, and I'm not saying like he's going to be a superstar and going to change the game, but this is a guy that can protect the rim and rebound and finish at the best of him when he's out on the court and healthy. So if Luka, we don't really know what his injuries is looking like because that soft tissue stuff can come back easily, and it can come back throughout the season, and you don't really want that to happen because there's no real cure for it. There's no real way to fix it. You kind of just have to let it heal as much as it can heal and just take it easy for a little bit, and maybe it goes away, but it can reoccur. I'm just going to be truthful about that. It's a tough injury to deal with, and it's a tough injury to manage, and I can see that's probably why Luka was frustrated a lot with it, and he probably gained weight for that reason because of the frustration of knowing that you can't really put weight on it, you can't really move this way, you can't really move that way, and you playing in a contact sport when you're going up and down and bumped and pushed around and falling all over the place like this era usually do. Every single possession, you just see somebody doing a layup and falling to the ground like they can't land after a layup. But that's just something that's always been silly and goofy about this generation. All the falling layups that they do, all the falling shots that they do, and they always want the ref to call a foul each and every possession. Like people want to actually see them shoot free throws. But that's just a rant that I had to say. But I'm liking the Lakers, what they did. Like I said, they're retooling it quick. You know, once you get a franchise player, you already have another one with LeBron. It's just about figuring out what makes sense and what doesn't, and having a center that does the basics always going to make sense. And like I said, he's young. The problem is going to be that contract. Is he really worth the big dollars? Because 16-9 seems like really, really good stats, and he isn't doing it legit because he's a starter. But I think his role is only going to increase, and his job is going to only be easier. I just hope that none of those back issues come back and haunt him because they need him on the court. Because if you're going to pay him a lot of money, it's going to make your secondary center not that good. And Nick Richards, when he had a chance to go play for a contender, well, a playoff contender in the Phoenix Suns, and he was gone and bolted. He's trying to get a big payday too. He's a basic center. Mark Williams is better than him, so the Lakers get the better one out of the two that was available. And the only cost is going to be paying him that extension, and I think the Lakers is doing that without a doubt, especially when they see everything that he can do on the court. And I think Mark Williams has been a slept on big, but then again, he has been out for a significant amount of time. So people going to get more crazy over him because when you get to LA, more spotlight, more fame, more people watching, bigger fan base, bigger market, and you get a lot of things that you're owed and you deserve it all. And that's how it should be for a guy like Mark Williams that put his work in to be able to get to the league and been able to produce at a high level. Now we're going to see him go against some real competition and see how real good and how great he really is. And I think that it's going to be fun to see himself against other greats and see if he can live up to that name, or he's going to be a guy that's just another name. And that's what the Lakers can do to you. And we done seen them get Dwight. We done seen them get Paul, Shaq, and those guys. I'm not gonna put them on that level, but 16-9, almost 16-10, and you got two of the most unselfish stars in the game playing along with you, and you can run the floor, and you can hit a mid ranger, and you got the speed and the athleticism too for your position. A lot of people say, you know what, Quinn, you're right. I'm liking Mark Williams. I'm gonna be hearing that a whole lot if he stay healthy. But we knew about him. So, I'm a real hoop head. I'm watching every game. I'm watching every team, and instant analysis is proof of that. And I like what I see out of Mark Williams. The Lakers got to steal, because if you only gonna give up Dalton Knecht and get a guy just as young as him, and is a two-way player, and we know Cam Reddish probably gonna go somewhere else, so you're not really giving up that. And you don't really care about the picks because he's already a 23-year-old, so he's going to be around for the future. And even if it's in 2031, he's still going to be young enough to be, if he stays healthy, good enough to stay your starting center. You don't care about that stuff. And Dalton Knecht, he might be a starter in Charlotte. He might not be a starter on a real team. We'll see how his career goes. But we know that Dalton Knecht can score and he can get buckets. But I don't know if I want to trade a defensive big for a guy like Dalton Knecht when you can get that in every draft and you can get that in free agency. Even at the buyout season, you can get a shooter even then, and they can be worth $2 to $3 million. So it's not something that's crazy to do. But fans know about Dalton more than they know about Mark Williams, so they might think that this was a bad trade because they like the upside of Dalton. But the upside of Mark Williams is better than the upside of Dalton Knecht and Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is just a serviceable guy, and Dalton Knecht might be that too in his career. And that's why they look at him as expendable, and they look at him, Mark Williams, as a priority, as they should. But Charlotte's saying, you know what, we ain't paying no money for these two. Nick Richards and Mark Williams, these guys ain't worth the money to us. We found Musa who can do good for us. We'll just ride with him for now, and we'll just figure out the big man rotation later. If you're LaMelo Ball, you're disappointed that Brandon Miller is out for the season. You only got Miles Bridges. You don't really have no reason to come back this year because you're not going to be winning that many games, because you wasn't even winning that many games already with them healthy. And now you just look at it like, what is we really doing now? If you LaMelo Ball, that's what you're saying to yourself. What is we really doing? We lost our best players all in one season because we got off to a bad start. And instead of building those good habits and trying to find a way to win games, we did the complete opposite and gutted our roster and our best players, and we got rid of the best defensive players on our team already. Now we don't really have nothing to work with but young guys that are not even great enough to be mentioned sometimes because they haven't really been playing that well. And that just makes it seem like was Jordan crazy for taking his team, making it to a good brand, and leaving it at its highest because Kemba and them did make a playoff run. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the greatest, but at least he got Kemba and got these guys that want to come to Charlotte. And they was competitive, they was fun, but this team looked like they're going all the way down and they're cool with it. And if you're going to tank, I don't really like this draft as much as other people. I'm not really as high on Cooper Flag as other people as a franchise-changing guy. But I could be wrong with him and LaMelo Ball. But that's only if you get the number one pick, which isn't even guaranteed in today's lottery. And Wizards have lost more games, so they have probably a better odds anyway. So I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about this for Charlotte because I think Mark Williams is that good. I could be wrong, but based on what I done seen, based on what I have watched, he's as good as advertised from Charlotte. And playing with these two guys, or even just playing with Luka in the future, he's up there with Daniel Gafford. He's up there with Derek Lively, if not better. And that's not over exaggeration. This guy is legit at the center position. Comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. If you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this and different variety and different topics. I also do breakdowns for real footage with legends, current legends, rookies, future stars, and also draft and mock draft coverage and other things too. So if you want to see what I offer, I got over 3,000 videos already on YouTube that you can watch and become a fan of and hopefully a subscriber Other than that, y'all stay blessed. Y'all keep your heads up. Y'all continue to grind. Thank y'all for continuing to check out the channel and support the channel any way that you can. And I love the fact that you guys appreciate my content for what it is. I'm trying to give y'all the best analysis in the world on YouTube. And we have so many other people following my style. That just means YouTube got more great analysis people on the platform, making it even better. I was one of the first NBA pioneers, only channels on YouTube, and I'm still one of the only ones, but I've been in the game for over 10 plus years making videos that you guys love and more people are starting to love and want to watch. So I love the fact that you guys continue to come back, and this is just another classic for y'all to think about as we get ready for the trade deadline to almost clear the trades, and then we can get ready for All-Star weekend and the buyout deadline, and then things should go back to normal, and hopefully guys can get healthier in the games, can be more competitive as we get ready to be beyond the halfway point and get ready for the playoffs, and then we can see who can possibly be champions this year. Other than that, I'm going for now. See you guys later. Peace.